The time is now. The time is now. It's now, right? If I were to tell you that this is by far the most important offseason in Carolina Panthers history, some may laugh, some may agree, some may disagree. But the reality of it is this is the most important offseason in Carolina Panthers history because it's year two of a rebuild, right? It's year two of a rebuild. You have found your quarterback. You've solidified majority of the offensive line. We know that Taylor Moton is in a contract year. It's possibility that he could be moving on or within the next 2 years. Um, you've invested a lot in the wide receiver room. Over the last couple of drafts, you've invested a lot. Draft You've drafted wide receivers and with your top couple of picks the last couple of years. Some of them panned out. Well, really, none of them has panned out. If you really want to be completely honest, you had the wide receiver that you took in the third round from LSU a couple seasons ago. Didn't work out. You took the wide receiver that we traded to go to Dallas, that we end up trading to the Cowboys, didn't work out. You drafted Xavier Legette last year, still yet to be seen, but rookie year, I'm not going to lie about this. Xavier Legette is still a question mark for me. I'm not sold. It was just like the Bryce Young situation. I'm not sold. I need to see that he can take over the position of being a number one overall wide receiver or the number one wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. I'm not sold yet. You have some promising young wide receivers. I think the undrafted wide receiver that we took last year, and I'm doing shitty on names right now, guys, but the undrafted wide receiver that we took last year, he showed a lot of promise. I think with him, Bryce Young, Legette, Adam Thielen is still on the roster. I mean, granted, he's 100 years old, but he's still on the roster. I don't think that room is all the way solidified yet. I think that you need to add another playmaking piece in that wide receiver room. I just think that it's absolutely necessary. Omar was good. Shout out to everybody, man. Look, I know I haven't been on, guys. It's been the off season. If you really want to be honest, any Carolina Panther outlet, and again, outside of the guys that are doing this full time, but any part-time outlet, guys, there really hasn't been a lot of news surrounded by the Carolina Panthers this offseason. Outside of the obvious moves that we did in free agency, which even free agency wasn't even that exciting, right? I didn't feel like there was a need to come on here and talk about really anything the Panthers have done thus far this offseason, simply because I don't feel like it's been, super game-changing information. Did we fill some pieces with our free agency? We filled some holes, right? Not a lot of big-name guys, typical Carolina Panther offseason where, we're getting the second-tier, third-tier free agents. I mean, Morig, the safety was probably the best free agent addition that we brought in. You brought in some interior D linemen. I love the Wharton pickup from the Chiefs. He actually balled out for them. Anybody that watched the Kansas City Chiefs play last year, Wharton was a solid interior guy beside Chris Jones. So I like that. But I think you feel some holes. That's what you did in free agency. I still think you could have done a little bit better. Again, the team is still lacking true star power. It's still lacking true star power. And I'm not expecting everything to be solidified in one off season, but I still think that there's opportunity for you to continue to improve this roster this off season. I think that you should have at least brought in one solid veteran name in that wide receiver group on offense. Again, not overpaying for anybody, but I think that you could have still brought in a solid veteran wide receiver presence via trade. Maybe it could still happen before the season starts, but I think the Panthers need another weapon in the wide receiving room. I'm not comfortable with what we have right now. I don't give a fuck what David Canales and Dan Morgan, how they're trying to dress it up. They're saying that they like these guys. Omar, we go jump into all of that, bro. Pull up to the channel, man. Just live a couple days before the draft. We're going to talk about all of that, man. We got Big Bro on the stream with me tonight. It's going to be a good one, man. So make sure that y'all tune in. Look, I know your boy haven't been doing anything. But like I said, guys, life is life, and I'm a part-time YouTuber. I'm going to be completely transparent with everybody. This is a part-time YouTuber, and sometimes it may not even be part-time, just depending on what I have time for, guys. I'm a husband, a father, a worker. Life be life, and I'm a coach of a youth football team. I don't be having time to come on here and talk to y'all like that. And that's no disrespect to y'all, but when I do have the time, I will make sure that I am on here. You guys will start to see the steam pick up a little bit, probably once the draft is over and as we get into OTAs. My goal this year, guys, I didn't get to do it last year, but my goal is, what up, Fayed9? What's up with everybody, man? I know it's been a minute. Well, we go talk about it, like, man, y'all make sure y'all check me out tonight because we're going to have a great conversation. And I think that you guys are going to walk away from this live with some different ways of looking at the Panthers. I think that that's what we need to do. But before I jump into all of that, listen, I'm not satisfied with where the Panthers are right now at this point in the offseason. Like, I like what we've done. Like, I like it, but I don't love it. What up, Baloo Waves? How you been, man? Hey, bro, I've been good, man. Blessed, healthy, bro. Still here. Thanking God, bro, every day for an opportunity to wake up, man. I appreciate you asking me that, man. Thank you, bro. I'm good, man. I really appreciate that. But I don't like where we are at this point in the offseason, right? Because the roster is still pretty similar to what it was last year outside of those defensive additions that we have. And again, collectively, these guys could bring us a lot of production, right? But I don't see anyone, and again, this is just me talking early in the process. I don't see anyone from the free agents that we brought in becoming a Pro Bowler, right? Like, I don't see that kind of production from these guys. Is it very much possible? Absolutely. I really like the safety from the Raiders, Morig, or however you say his last name. I really like him. I think that he's going to be, because he's a physical safety. He flies around the field, man. I watched a lot of tape on him. He's he's young, man. So he got his legs underneath him. I think he's going to be very productive. At minimum, man, he might get a couple interceptions this year. So again, I think that he's going to be fine, but I still think the Panthers left a lot out there on the table in free agency. I would have loved for us to be able to bring in a free agent wide receiver or trade for one. I just think that the wide receiver room could be a lot better, man. I'm not happy with it. I think the tight end room could be a lot better. Like, again, Sanders, Tommy Tremble, we like those guys. I think Tommy Tremble is a solid tight end, but again, where are the difference makers? We don't have difference makers on the offensive side of the ball. I love the Rico Dotto. Rico Dotto was a great addition to this team on the offensive side of the ball. And the Panthers got him for a steal. Because Dotto actually, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I know he had a hell of a year for Dallas, but did he rush for 1,000 yards? I can't remember how many yards he rushed for, but it might have been 700 or something. He had a solid fucking season with the Cowboys last year, and I love him as a 1-2 punch for Chuba Hubbard, especially because Hubbard is coming off an injury. So I think that you needed to do that. Obviously, Jonathan Brooks, I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. we're probably not going to see Jonathan Brooks until 2026. Like we're probably not. 2026 is probably when we'll see Jonathan Brooks and be able to see what he can really do. I don't, and it's heartbreaking for me as a Panther fan because I like Jonathan Brooks. I liked him when he was at Texas. I think, and even before he got hurt with the minimum reps that he was getting, he was showing, man, that he can be electric, man. So I'm hoping that these injuries don't continue to derail his young career, man. I'm hoping that right now the Panthers are just focusing on getting him healthy. Don't rush him back. Take as much time as you need. And hopefully, man, year 3, we'll be able to see what we got in Jonathan Brooks, man. But you have to start preparing also, and you may want to take a running back later in the draft, and because he may not be the guy, just from an injury standpoint. Like if he can't get back healthy, he's probably not going to be the guy. So I really don't know what to say about that. So the Dwaddle pickup was huge. But what I'll also throw out there, the Panthers definitely could have did a lot more on the offensive side of the ball. Hands down. They could have done a lot more on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to talk about it all, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to Ty, Baloo, Omar in the building. Hey, look, the link is out there, man. Anybody want to come up? Listen, we are literally, 3 days away from the draft. This draft pick, the number 8 pick, where we have right now, the Panthers have to hit on this pick. They have to. They have to hit on this pick. This cannot be a draft pick where this time next year we're saying that we missed or we don't know. This pick in this draft has to be a game-changing draft for the Panthers going forward. Our future success depends on the players we pick in this draft. Because this team, we have to remember, we are in technically year 2 of a rebuild. Doesn't make sense how we're in year 2. The list is too long to go over why we're in just year 2 of a rebuild. But we're under year 2 of rebuild. The second era with Dan Morgan and Canales. The third year for Bryce Young. This is a huge year for Bryce Young. A huge season for Bryce Young, guys. Bryce Young needs to show the same kind of growth that he showed when he got benched and he came back and played sensational, right? He didn't light up the score box. He didn't light that up. But Bryce Young played efficient enough to give the Panthers opportunities to win. And if you look at the games that we played and the teams that we were playing, he almost beat the Eagles. We beat the Eagles. If Xavier Legette don't drop that fucking pass, he was wide open, and that's why I don't know about him. Shit like that. You can't do that, man. You're on the road in Philly against the Super Bowl, the now Super Bowl champions. You catch that ball, there's no time left in the game. You win the fucking game. You blew it, right? He played well enough to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs were beat. We have to remember that. The Chiefs were beaten. The defense just couldn't get stops. So Bryce Young has shown, that he is going to be the guy, but him starting the season fast and how he starts like the first 5 games is going to tell a lot about Bryce Young. I think year 3 is the most important year for number 9, our franchise quarterback. There it is. We got Big Bro in the fucking building. Big Bro, we are 3 days away from the draft, man. What is your overall feeling about the Panthers at this point in the offseason? I got to hear from you because I'm not sure about us still.
Man, I'm excited just like every year. I'm excited, for the draft. I feel like this is going to be another opportunity to build our team going forward. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited looking how the Panthers are going to approach this draft, how we're going to build, for the 2025 season, man. So I'm excited. I'm happy. We got the 8th pick. Free agency, I felt like we made some necessary moves. Was it home run. If you look at all lanes, I wouldn't say that, but I think we did address some moves, especially on the defense side of the ball. I mean, guys, our defense, everybody knows was terrible last year. It was bad, so we had to address the defensive side. And I think, we did that some in this offseason. Did we get the big name guy that everyone was expecting, or the shiny piece? Wasn't that? I feel like we got guys that can contribute and gave us some good depth. Myself as far as free agency, especially on the defensive side, man. So again, I'm excited, to see what this group can do, man. With because we giving Evero pieces to make this defense better. Our defense was terrible last year, guys. I mean, y'all seen it.
Record
We all
record
seen it.
setting,
Yeah, it
terrible.
was yeah. I mean, it was ultimately historically bad, whatever you want to call it. So we got to address that side of the ball. Um, and I say, as far as the draft goes, man, at the number 8 pick, I feel like that's a good spot. We can, there's two options we could go. I feel, well, really three, I'm gonna say. So we can stay at 8. This is a defensive end heavy draft. So there's gonna be some guys there that we can, improve this pass rush. We need pass rush. We didn't really address that in free agency. So we got to get a perennial pass rush. When the Panthers have been good on defense, we've had a solid pass rusher. They can get to the QB, and you need that in today's league. So the three moves we can make, we can stay at 8. There's gonna be a guy there. Many, I know y'all heard. They got us
Jalen
potentially
Walker,
taking Jalen Walker. Salisbury guy, native to the area. Right up the street. Georgia, he's come from Georgia. What Georgia has put out the last few years in the NFL. We can look at talk about the success those defensive players has had. They came out of Georgia.
especially the
Um,
ones on the Eagles.
right, exactly, for sure.
Yep.
So if that's the route that we go, I would like that. Secondly, I've been hearing some reports, rumor we may, and Dan Morgan talked about in his press conference last week. There is potential is that we may move up and take a defensive guy. They was I was reading something today. I forget which site it was on. I think it was might have been the New York Times. Can't remember, but there was a scenario where we trade up to number 3 to probably go get our dual Carter, which is if you guys not aware of, premier pass rusher from Penn State, number 1 rated defensive player,
Michael
but
Parsons 2.0.
yeah, rated, behind the Travis Hunter, man. When it comes to, Travis Hunter played both sides of the ball, but he's the number 1 rated defensive guy on the board coming out of this year's
Well, let
draft.
me
So that
let me ask you a question though. What would you give up to move to 3? From 8 to 3, man. That's a what? Five jumps ahead.
I mean,
So what would you give up for the Giants? Now think about what the Giants need, and obviously, what would you be willing to get up? Chat, y'all tell me what would y'all give up right now to move to
I
number
mean,
3
man,
if you
honestly,
Dan Morgan.
you know, obviously we was, swapped this year's first. I mean, because we don't want to give up the farm, man. Because we still trying to recoup some of our picks back from the Bryce trade going up. So I would give up, definitely swap this year's first. I probably would throw in a second, maybe our second this year, and probably a second next year. That's probably the max I would get, man, for it, honestly. Um, and again, the Giants, there may not be enough for the Giants, because they obviously they need, again, number 3 is and they need a guy like Carter as well. They're trying to build. So, but that's probably I mean, man, I feel like, and again, I would say second this year, second next year, and maybe like a fifth the year after, man. That's probably the max that I would give, for that, man. But the third option, if we don't move up, is trading back, man, and recouping some picks. You got some teams that's out there that would love to be at 8. There's potential rumors about, Pittsburgh may be trading up. They want to go trade up and get Shador. Sanders, at quarterback, teams that need quarterbacks. You got the Saints right there, even though they're picking at 9, they might want to get up to the 8th spot. So I'm okay with that scenario too, because like I said, this is guys a defensive pass rush heavy draft. There's a lot of guys with some first round grades that's going to go in the first round at defensive end, and that's what we need. So if we get a good package where a team offers, you know, this year's first man and a couple second round picks, or third rounds, man, hey, well, let's take the deal. Let's trade down and still be able to go get a good solid guy. And also, we're building, for the future. We got multiple picks in the draft. Give us a couple second rounders, this year. So
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
three scenarios, man. We can stay put, draft Jalen Walker. We can move up, try to draft Abdul Carter if it's not too high, or we can trade back, man. So I'm excited, really, man, to see what we're going to do Thursday. And Dan Morgan, this is his second year. Him and Canales, second year together. They went through, 1 year, seeing what the team needs, see how to, what was on the roster, what was not on the roster, and man, yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm excited to see what's what. Uh,
yeah.
you know,
Here's my thing, man, and you guys may disagree with this. Listen, if we move back, I'm 100% all right with moving back. I think it's just what you get, right? Like, if let's say if a team like Pittsburgh just wants to move up, um, wants to move from 22 up to number 8, yeah. If I'm doing that, man, because that's such a big jump, I need the 22nd overall pick, their second round this year, and then potentially they second round, like you were saying, next year as well. And you're gonna have to add in something else to sweeten that up, man. I just expect that from 22 to 10 to the top 10, that's a big jump when you're talking about far as picks. So I'm going to need more than that, man, to accept, anybody coming from the 20s that want to move up to, because you're absolutely correct. There's still going to be some premier players on the board on the defensive side of the ball. James Pierce could be there. Mikael Williams from Georgia could still be there at that point. Like, there's a bunch of guys, Mike Green, we've been hearing that name a lot. There's a lot of guys, man, that could still be there at that point. So I would be okay with that. But I'm demanding the King's ransom for that, man, because a top 8 pick is still a hell of a fucking pick. And I don't think that we should treat it as if it's like it's just a basic ass number. No, 8 to get to 8. I'm demanding the biggest King's ransom that I can at that time. Because if they're desperate enough to trade up for it, they got to be willing to give up whatever they need to get. That's the only way that I'm moving back. I'm not. And if I'm not moving back, then I'm staying right there at 8. And at 8, again, it only makes sense for the Panthers to take a defensive player at number 8, right? I mean, again, Jalen Walker's name has been tied to the Panthers ever since, we've really got in the process the last couple of months. You even heard Dan Morgan talk about him, man, last week, I believe, where he was talking about, his leadership and everything that you've been hearing about him. So to me, that looks like what the Panthers will do if he's on the board at number 8. I really don't see anything else. I would really be shocked if they took someone like, reached on someone at number 8. Like, to me, Mikael Williams, he's a good defensive end, the other defensive end for Georgia. But Jalen Walker just gives you so much versatility. So I would really be shocked if he's still on the board at number 8 and the Panthers decide to do something else. I would be there. But if you're moving up to 3, right? Again, y'all know how I feel about these kind of moves. Moving up from 8 to 3 is showing Panther Universe that you're trying to win right now. You're trying to put this team together faster than originally planned, because you're going to give up some assets to move to number 3. You're going to give up some pieces. And if I'm moving up to 3, Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, if I had to pick between two of those, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going Travis. I'm going Travis, man. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going Travis Hunter just because he's going to bring more. He can be your wide receiver that you need to have, He can bring depth to the cornerback position. You re-sign Mike Jackson, so you don't necessarily need Travis to start on the defensive side of the ball. But if he needs to, he can. But you've brought in a dynamic wide receiving weapon, two-way player that can play a ton of fucking reps. He can benefit you on both sides of the ball. I'm going Travis Hunter if I'm trading up to 3 because what you're going to have to give up. And we got Carl D in the background. We got Nigga Nation in the background. I'm pulling y'all up here in a minute. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in, man. Look, y'all are making me proud, bro. I ain't been live in months, and we got hella viewers in here. So appreciate y'all, man. 3 days from the draft. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Y'all already know what fucking time it is. But if I'm trading up to 3, big bro, I'm going to get Travis. I'm sorry, man. He's too much of generational talent, and his potential is through the fucking roof. I'm going to get Travis. I understand what you're saying about Abdul Carter. Way is looking right now. He's going to be He's going to be a generational talent, but you've never seen a player like Travis Hunter. I'm trading up to give. If I got to give up the farm, I'm giving up for Travis. That's giving Bryce Young a dynamic weapon to team along with Xavier Legette, Adam Thielen. What's the rookie, the undrafted rookie that we had, man? That
Coker.
yeah, Jalen Coker. I keep forgetting his name. Jalen Coker.
Yeah.
I'm teaming Travis Hunter up with that group.
I mean, listen, if I'm gonna say this, if I don't think, I personally don't think Hunter will fall to 3, but if he was there, that means probably Abdul Carter would be gone. If Travis Hunter was to fall to 3, that means that Tennessee went quarterback and Cleveland with Hunter. I mean, not Hunter.
Yeah, Carter.
Abdul Carter, and then Hunter would fall to 3 to us. And I mean, in that scenario, I mean, obviously, if you trade up, you got to go with the best player available at that point, and that would be Travis Hunter if you were at 3. I mean, so I mean, I can't be denied. I can't be mad at that if we were to take Hunter, because like I said, that means Carter's off the board, and we pretty much left with the next best available. And there's only other one person I feel in this draft that would go, number 3 is still on the board, and that's Hunter, man. So I can't be mad at that. Now, like I said, we know I don't think this is going to happen, but if Carter's going to be there at 3,
You
I
gotta
feel
take
like
him.
that's the only way that Morgan would pull that trigger. Like after he go, if he go see the first, see the first 2 picks off the board, right? These GMs talk to each other throughout the draft, and they can kind of tell what's going on and who they're going to be picking. So if Morgan's on the phone and know that, 1 and 2 is shaping up to be Cam Ward and Travis Hunter, then yes, go ahead and pull the trigger. But again, I don't think we give up the farm, because we've given up the farm and kind of put ourselves back again. We got to make it the right deal, right? It got to be the right, got to make sense for the Panthers, and also for the other team. But man, I'm okay with staying at 8. There's some good pass rusher guys in this draft, man. I'm telling you, there's a lot of guys. The kid from Marshall, I think it was Marshall. Um, what's the guy's name from Marshall?
Mike ain't it Green?
Mike Green, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. The Green, he's a guy that has been brought up, man, 6'3", about 250. Then we got another hometown guy, the Tennessee. I mean, so there's gonna be some guys available, man, that we can take. That we got to answer that need at pass rusher. We need a perennial pass rusher. And again, I love Travis Hunter, but man, if he's not there at 3, Abdul Carter's not there. And of course, we're not gonna swing on one of them guys at 3. There's no point to go up at 3. But if we can't get Abdul Carter,
I'm not
Jalen
making the
Walker,
move. Yeah.
yeah, we're not making a move there at 3.
Right. I agree. No, I agree
So
with that. We got
yeah,
Nigga Nation in the building. Nigga Nation. What's good, Nigga Nation?
Yo, what it do? How's everybody doing? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Happy Easter to you, Nigga Nation.
I don't celebrate the white man shit, so um, so everybody keep talking about let's trade back. Listen, We don't have time for mediocre. I keep telling y'all this year in and year out. It's time to win now. If you're gonna swing big, trust and believe the Giants may end up getting Travis Hunter. So shit, he might go number two. So it's gonna be kind of hard to get him to think that he's gonna go at three. I would love to get Travis Hunter, but unfortunately, he ain't gonna be there at number two. I think the Giants are gonna get him. They're gonna let him do whatever the fuck he wants in New York. He got the marketing. He's teamed up with neighbors, and he's teamed up with a coach that probably won't be there next year.
So
At
you
the end of the
saying that
day,
Abdul Carter going to Cleveland?
hold on. What is New York three, two or
Yeah,
three?
3. New York 3.
Shit. Well, Cleveland always do some weird shit. So I can see him going two. I can literally see Travis going two. Period. But I,
Okay,
but
got you.
but at the end of the day, it's time to win now. I don't want to hear, well, let's trade back. Listen, we still got to understand what Dan Morgan, what type of drafty type GM he is, right? He already took a swing second round last year. You see what happened right there. You need to make people. You
Yeah,
need to get players that's going to make an immediate impact. And
there you
folks need to
go.
stop. And folks need to stop acting like this draft is like going to help us get to the playoffs. Listen, what happened over free agency, they did what they need to do. Everybody keep talking about, man, they got two tier this, two tier that. Listen, they got players for the next 3 to 4 years that you can build with. And those players that they signed had awesome years, and that's why they got paid. And it is what it is.
So okay, so we're gonna talk about the free agency. I'm glad you said that, and
Yeah.
everything you said makes sense. We picked up Bobby Brown III, the defensive tackle from the Rams. He was the starting D tackle for the Rams last year. You paid him $21 million, right? 3-year, $21 million deal. You know, again, we were supposed to be getting Milton Williams there. Remember that. We were supposed to get Milt Williams there. He pulled the trigger at the last minute. I don't think the Panthers ever had a deal in place, but you ended up with Bobby Brown III. He's a solid D tackle. Then you got Pat Jones, the second linebacker from the Vikings. So quality depth. You paid for a 2-year, $20 million deal for him. And listen, everybody in the chat, you guys let me know what you think about these free agents. I'm gonna be honest with you. These were starting players, but before we signed them, I didn't know who the fuck they were. I'm gonna be honest. I'm being completely honest. So you signed Pat Jones, Trayvon Morig, the safety from the Raiders. Again, 3-year, $51 million deal. That's a lot of money invested into him.
Hey,
You
but
know,
if you
safety.
check out his highlight, that man can hit your ass. And I hope they play him how he played over there in, with Vegas, because he would hit your ass.
Then you signed Mike Jackson back. You know, the cornerback, $14.5 million for 2 years. That's not a ton of money. I'm not mad at that because Mike Jackson actually played solid, you know, for the Panthers. He had games he was getting fried in, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. He had games he was getting cooked. But overall, I think he did what he needed to do as the Panthers' second corner. Then to me, my favorite pick, this is my favorite pick out of all of them in free agency of who we signed, was Trayshawn Wharton, the defensive tackle from the Chiefs. Hey, look, this nigga is a dog. Trayshawn Wharton is a dog. Go and look at his tape from last season with the Chiefs. He a dog, and you got him at 3 years, $54 million. Now, remind you, you re-signed J.C. Horn. So, again, I think collectively all of the free agents make sense, but I don't know if you still have that home run guy. You
But you
need
still
that
have,
home run guy.
but you still have Wanham that you signed last year. You still got Clowney. You ain't got to play Clowney every goddamn down. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have fresh legs.
Get rid of his ass, man. I'm ready to get
Nah,
rid of that motherfucker,
he,
man.
he he performs with good defense. That's how he performed. That's it's always been his career. He's gonna be with a good defense. We didn't have shit last year. So if you get more players added on last year defense with that veteran, and then what we got going on this year, and see what we're gonna do in this draft, but I still think Bryce needs some weapons, dog. At the end of the day, he needs some weapons.
Right.
He needs some fucking
Thank you,
weapons.
Vietnam. Thank you. We got Carl D in the building. Carl D, what's good, bro?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What up with it, man? Long time no speak. How you been?
All right. All right. I'm wondering when you were coming back on.
Man, look. I'm a part-time YouTuber, man. I be trying to tell y'all that.
Yeah, I know. I just messing with you.
What you think about how we at? Where we at right now, man?
Oh, Oh, I love the free agency class we got. Let me address Nation about the trading back. The reason I would want to trade back to get more picks is because our second round pick ain't until 57, and that is just think once we draft, if we stay at 8, our next pick ain't going to be until 57. That's a long time to be waiting to trade. I mean, to draft somebody. That's my
Oh yeah,
biggest
that's the
issue.
middle of the second round.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to trade. That's why I would like to trade back. If
You
we
can
wasn't
still get some good depth though there, man.
yeah, if we wasn't so if our second round pick wasn't that far, then I would be like, hey, we don't need to trade. We don't need to trade back. Let's stay where we at. But since it's that far back, man, we got to get some more picks up in here.
Oh, Omar, got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Look, I agree, man. That's why I said I'm not against trading back in the draft. I'm not against that. We got Omar in the building. Omar, what's up with it, bro?
Yo, what's good? Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yep, loud and
What's
clear,
popping,
fam.
man? Good to hear you, man. Hope you and your family doing well, man. I know you're just a part-time YouTuber, but you got real supporters out here, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Bless, man. Thank y'all for that. Thank you.
Oh man, no problem there. Yeah, like I said, so far I think I give the free agency pickups like a B minus. You got some good rotational pieces on defense. Like we're going from an all-time worst defense to hey, we should be just average. You
Yeah.
know, I'm still not a big Evero fan, but I don't want to hear nothing about the talent this year. I don't want to hear anything about he has this to work with because just like last offseason, we gave Evero everything he wanted from Fuller to Nick Scott to Josie Jewell to Ashawn. I feel like a
Yep.
lot of fans forget that. We gave that man everything he wanted. And so this year, I really like I think Cardi was saying, I think I would prefer to go wide receiver in the first round. I'm a big 10 at 8 guy. I don't think a lot of people like that, but I think we have to realize our wide receiver room is old, man. Adam
It
Thielen
is,
and
man.
David Moore, it
Why
was
did they re-sign him, Omar?
for
David
debt.
Moore?
For
Why
debt.
did they sign
Leadership,
him?
They had to get
leadership,
somebody. Yeah, you had to get somebody. I
and
think that's what they
That was
plus Bryce familiar with him.
exactly. I think and
yeah, but
David Moore ain't no scrub, but he ain't no world beater. Like he's a
Yeah,
solid
that's
wide
true.
receiver 4 or 5. Like he's just a solid fringe wide receiver. Like he made some plays, but he
we ain't
gonna
got
drop a
nothing but a
couple
bunch of
passes.
4 and 5 wide receivers. That's all that's out there. Like
Some
Come
fans
on,
don't, but some
man.
fans don't want to hear that. Some fans think Leggett is going to take over and be number one, and then some fans really like Coker. I like Coker more than Leggett personally
I do
because
too.
Leggett just got some things that, from a wide receiver standpoint, like his weak hands and poor ball tracking skills in the air, that just concern me,
It
especially as
do.
a big
Yeah, me
body wide
too.
Well,
receiver.
Me too. Me too.
to on Legette's part, he do have his hands. He never got surgery on them hands. He got some good hands. It just
I see him
he
more as a body catcher though. He catches a lot of passes with his
well
body, and that
Yeah, he
ruins his
catches a
well
lot like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
and
well.
he
That's
not he
Omar
because
not
just
gonna
his
get
jumped
that's
that.
every
because
time
his
he tried to
hands
catch the goddamn
had that
ball. He
injury
literally jumps in the
Go
air.
ahead, nigga nation. Go ahead. What you say?
He literally jumps in the air every time he try to catch the goddamn
Exactly. And
ball.
that ruins all your momentum
What are
as a
you jumping
receiver.
for?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Especially a
no,
big body receiver. You 6'3", 6'4". You don't need to jump in the air to snag everything. Throw your
Yeah.
hands up there and trust your
So
hands.
so Omar, Leggett is only 6'1", man. He
Yeah,
ain't
we
a
looked
six.
it
Okay,
up.
okay.
We
Yeah, we
did. We
yeah,
looked it
but
up.
did
he
Yeah,
look
has
it
a
up.
he
40.
not six.
What
I
is it?
thought
A
the same thing.
41 inch
I
vertical?
thought he was 6'3", 6'4", but
Yeah, I thought he was a
Leggett is
bigger
only
receiver.
listed at six
Okay.
one.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, but he
Okay.
has a
Which that's
he
still,
has
I mean,
almost
6'1" still is a solid size. Like, I
I
mean,
mean,
it ain't
yeah, but I'm just
But
saying.
he ain't no Kelvin Benjamin Devin Funches
Exactly,
though. So
nah,
I
exactly.
get
He
nah,
it.
not
nah,
no
nah,
Kevin Benjamin, no
nah.
Brandon LaFell.
Yeah,
He
I
not,
got you though. I got you.
none of
hey
them tall,
hey
big
he
guys.
has a 41-inch vertical
Man. But look, man, look,
and he runs a 4.3. I mean, yeah,
but hold
4.39.
on.
I don't give a
This
fuck about that. I need you to catch the goddamn ball.
He'll catch it this year. He'll catch him this year.
Cardi, Omar, what do you think about this, man? So personally at number 8, I feel like because of how historically bad the defense was, it's like you're forced to pick a defensive player at 8, man. Like ideally, like I understand what you're saying, but I've been talking to Big Bro about this like in the entire off season. Like I would love for the Panthers, man, to get a weapon for for Bryce Young. And again, we've invested a lot of it. We haven't taken a wide receiver this high at 8, but we've invested a lot of our draft stock, man, early picks over the last 5 years into wide receivers, and they really haven't panned out. Like Leggett, I mean, obviously that was his first year. I mean, he showed some glimpses of some stuff. This is my analysis of Leggett. Leggett showed. Yeah, he showed some glimpses here and then of what he could potentially be, but he still has a lot of work to do, man. Like he's not. You got to remember this too. Leggett was really a day 2 pick. You know, we traded in the first round to get him. You know, he wasn't
one spot up though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of people didn't have Leggett going in the first round.
He was a mid-second rounder, and the hype kind of came in towards late the draft, and he got moved up. There's no reason he should have went over Ladd and Keon Coleman. No reason.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, you know, wasn't Xavier Worthy on the board during that time frame?
Kansas City traded up to like 26. Yeah.
They traded up to 26. I'd rather the Panthers did that and go get Xavier Worthy there, man. A speed guy that can and I'm gonna be honest with you. Xavier Worthy is gonna show the league this year too, man, why he is what he is. That kid is a dog. But back to Leggett, I just feel like you reached on him there because he really wasn't projected to be a first round pick. And again, I understand if you like a guy, you got to go get it. That's just the whole motto of GMs and coaches and stuff in the draft. But the Panthers really have not invested a high pick at the wide receiver position. Like our last highest pick was
would have been DJ Moore.
Yeah, it would have been DJ Moore, and I think we took him at what? We took him
20,
at 8,
mid
20. Well,
it was 20. So
I want to say mid 20s because we were decent when we picked him up. So I'll say that maybe tweens.
28.
Oh wow, we was that far down in the draft. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I don't remember them days.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we really haven't invested a high pick in it. And as much as I would love, man, to draft a wide receiver here, because you know, I think we don't have enough in that room right now. I still think that you have to go defense here at number 8, man. Like it was so fucking bad. Like guys, we gave up the most amount of points for defense in a season in the NFL. Like that is embarrassingly bad.
Hey, but where'd you go get that tight end from Penn State?
Oh,
not at 8. Not at 8.
No.
Not at 8.
Not at 8.
We don't even need it. I say we don't even need it. We got JT.
Yeah, we can't go tight end.
I think every room in the draft, the only 2 rooms that are acceptable, you know, walking away with nothing in the draft, and this is still maybe even a reach, is if you don't draft any offensive lineman. I personally think you should always draft offensive linemen, but I'm not mad because they got depth pieces in Zavala and Christensen and Cade Mays. So you kind of got depth at the O-line to where you can go 8 deep and running back room. You're good at running, and you could get an undrafted free agent, but you're good as a 1-2 with Rico and Chuba, and I think you're good at O-line. And obviously you ain't going to get a quarterback, but I wouldn't be mad at a late quarterback. If Quinn Ewers sitting there in the 4th or 5th round, I wouldn't be mad at it, but that's another day. But I think every other room got to get improved. Tight ends, receivers.
Yep.
Every other room got to get improved. Because Turnbull and JT are they're okay. They're okay.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying, man, is that the trading back thing, it makes sense for the right deal, right? Like if you are going to trade back, you have to make sure that you're getting picks that can really make a difference because Nigga Nation said it, man, and he said it the best, like, you got to have guys that can contribute right now. Like, we need it, man. Like, we need guys that can come in and start and play right away. Again, this is going to be a young team, already a young team, but you need guys that can come in and start making a difference right away. Like,
yeah, we already started.
You think Jalen Walker can do that?
6'9".
No. That's my thing. I think outside of Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, you know, your Cam Wards and stuff like that, and maybe Mason Graham, everybody else is like, hey, I think they can be a starter by the end of the season, but I don't think there's a lot of day 1 starters in the first round. I think there's a drop-off outside of the first 3 or top 4 guys, and then 6 through 28 is just all of the same type of tier caliber guys. So that's why I think you can trade back into the middle of the first and still get a good edge in Mike Green or Donovan from Boston College or somebody like that.
That's what I want.
That's you know, I said there earlier, you know, that option is there. If the right deal come our way, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Or if we stayed at 8, but I do think if we were to stay at 8 and Dan Morgan don't decide to trade back, if he was to go ahead and pick at 8, I think
I'm not taking a Mason Graham right. Hey, I'm
no,
sorry.
no, no, no. I would still stick with Carter there, man, because I feel
I
like
don't want
he
Carter though,
fits
man. He's not a
he fits
nah.
our
Who?
scheme, man. The three
Abdul
four
Carter.
Carter?
I don't
scheme.
want.
Who?
I mean,
Carter.
Talking
not
about
Carter. I'm
Jalen
I
sorry.
mean,
Walker.
not
Walker,
Carter. I'm
Walker,
sorry,
Walker.
Jalen Walker.
Okay,
Walker.
I'm sorry.
My
I'm
bad.
sorry, man.
Fed nine.
Jalen
Appreciate the
Walker,
cash out,
man.
bro. Appreciate the cash out, Fed.
He's 3-4 because he's really an outside linebacker. That Georgia used him as rusher because he was quick off the edge, but he's the outside linebacker, and we run in a 3-4 defense, and we need that outside linebacker who can rush the passer.
Yeah, but
You
I
know,
mean, I want
Dan
somebody
Morgan said
that's
that he
gonna
would
be.
be an outside linebacker if we drafted him.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I
That's
want
I mean
somebody that's gonna be
that's
a
what he gonna be.
starter though. That's gonna come in and be
Yeah, I mean, I
and
think
make
again, you
Clowney
might
sit
not see
down. And
the.
I don't see Walker doing that.
Now,
he
I think
probably
you might
won't.
not see the production right away, but I think he can give us starter minutes, man. You know what I'm saying? He can
And
give
that's
us.
the problem.
But,
That's
but
the
hold on,
Yeah,
problem. That's the
Carl D.
problem.
Carl D. Hold
Huh?
on, Carl D. You got to remember something, man. He coming to the worst defense in history. He's not gonna put. He's not gonna show right away. I don't think he's gonna turn into a 10-sack guy. First year because again, he still needs more pieces around him. In the 3-4, you're
yeah.
only as good as the man next to you in the 3-4 defense, man. Like literally, a lot has to go right for in an outside linebacker to be a great pass rusher in the 3-4. So we still need a lot more on that side of the ball. But to Big Bro's point, Kate, like I think that you need an athletic DN
Yes,
that
sir.
can
That
be
can
our
come off the
Michael
edge.
Parsons. Like you need somebody that can be a hybrid that we can line him up. He's big enough so that we can line him up. Because if I'm not mistaken, what is he listed at? Like 260?
No,
So
240.
240. Okay, yeah. So 240. So that makes him a hybrid edge. He got the speed that he can get off the edge, but you can also put him back in linebacker. He can stop the run if he needs to stop the run. So I wouldn't be
Yeah,
mad at Jalen Walker today. It makes sense.
yeah. If we
You
could get
trust in
him,
Evero. You're trusting Evero, and that's something I can't do.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
man,
can't trust
that's part of
Evero.
the
I mean,
reason why.
Omar, he's our defensive
yeah,
coordinator.
he's our
What
coordinator. I
can I
mean, we
do?
got no
I have no
choice.
choice.
Yeah, I mean,
But wait, that's my point. That's how we get fucked up and we get in these positions because you draft players for these coaches,
We
and when
cuss
these
on here,
coaches
baby. You good?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
when these coaches
but we blame
leave, like a
everything
Phil
on
Snow,
this
you draft Jeremy
last
Chin
year.
for Phil Snow. When Phil Snow gets fired, and now Jeremy Chin ain't seeing the field under Evero. You see what
Hey,
I'm
Phil
saying?
Snow had a
Yeah.
top 10.
We
He
should
had a
have
top
kept
10
Phil
defense.
Snow.
Yeah, we
I
could,
like
but
Phil Snow.
I see they had to get. He was a yes man to Matt Rule, so there was no way you can fire Matt Rule and think Phil Snow was going to stick around. So that's why he had to get out of here because that's just his homeboy. But
Yeah.
Phil Snow was a decent defensive coordinator. I liked our scheme.
He
Like,
had some exotic ass schemes
yeah,
on defense, man.
he was a better DC than Evero. I'll say that hands down.
Well, this is what I'll say, guys, about Evero. Then I'm gonna let CLT is in the building, man. What up with it, bro? We're gonna get you here in a second. Then after that, I want to tell about everybody prediction at number 8. This is what I'll say about Evero, man. Listen, this man has been asked to turn, water to wine and over the last couple of years here in Carolina, man. He hasn't had anything to work with outside. You got to remember something. Last season was JC's Horn's first season where he played, 15, 16 games since we've drafted him number 8. So in theory, he's been working 2 years without his best player. And then you got to remember something like this. His best interior lineman got fucking hurt this year. So he really didn't even have a full deck of cards to be able to try to win the fucking game of roulette with. Like he really didn't.
And
So
my response to that ways very quickly. Just my response so you can piggyback. I understand everything you're saying, but what does that have to do with why you got Jordan Fuller lined up on CD Lamb getting cooked?
no, I
the whole
know,
game and you make
listen. But
adjustments?
that's what I was about to say next, Omar. Has there been some questionable personnel decisions that that he's put in? I think that he tried to dig entirely too far in the tool bag last year. With certain guys, I would have loved to see a lot of stuff more schemed up with our defensive guys. But it's hard, man, when you have such a young team and really you don't have anything on that side of the ball. Like, bro, how many games did y'all watch last year that you were naming players out there? You're like, who the fuck is that on the defense? Like, who is that?
yeah.
Like,
We played with a lot. We last year, and we all seen we played with a lot of second and third guys on the depth chart. Some of them even fourth that was actually thrown in and being
especially at
started.
linebacker. I will say that we had a bunch of scrubs at
Yeah,
linebacker. I will say
I
that.
mean, you got to think about that. So I mean, guys that wasn't used to being starter. I mean, it's different playing, a role versus being a full time starter. Even I mean, I'm gonna give you with Clowney. Clowney, he's not a starter, but he had to be a starter last year. Clowney is a rotational piece, and like my man Nigga Nature
He gonna
said,
give you. He gonna give you a good 8.5 sacks with a good defense. Now I'm
yeah,
telling
he in a rotational role, not a full time starter. He come in, second and third down, and got somebody good beside him. Then yes, he can be effective, but he had to be thrust into a start. That's the point. Is that we had a lot of guys on the defense side of the ball that wasn't used to being full time starters, and again, that ain't really on coaching. I mean, it's just the scheme probably works, but we just didn't have the pieces to
The do the
to
scheme.
perform it to execute
you.
the
But
scheme.
nobody's really talking about this. Who the hell is the leader and who's the linebacker of this defense? We don't have that.
Jonesy
Well, it
Jewel
was
right
Shaq,
now.
man, until Shaq got hurt. He was the leader. He was the
But
Yeah.
it's
vet in there.
Jonesy
Shaq
Jewel
is
is the best
Shaq,
linebacker we have right now.
you got Joe and you got Wallace. Who else you got? We
I
need.
like Wallace.
I like Wallace too. Wallace is
Well,
gonna be
Yeah,
real
this
good
is his
for us.
second year. I mean, so Josie
We need
Jewell
a
would be the
linebacker,
only
man.
leader that would come in and lead. That can because he's the only true vet in there as far
We
that's
need
had
somebody.
multiple years in
We
the
need a
league.
rookie that can make an immediate impact. If you can't give me that, we gonna move on. I need
That's-
an immediate, impactful player. I'm tired of drafting motherfuckers
I would have went.
who ain't gonna be impacted immediately.
I
Fuck
would
it.
have went to go get Greenlaw in free agency.
Well, I think Greenlaw cost one of
I
the
don't give a
bags.
damn. You need linebackers, bro. See that's my whole point when it comes to the Panthers, everybody. And CLT, I'm about to let you pop your shit, bro. That's my whole thing when it comes to the Panthers. Like, you have to remember, guys, in order for you to get quality players, you gotta pay the motherfuckers, man. Like in where the Panthers at, they need every fucking quality player that they can get. So again, there were options out there in free agency. There were some veteran guys that you could have went to go pay 1-2 year deals to just to help solidify that side of the ball. And stop the fucking run this year. There were guys available. So now you're dealing with a bunch of young guys. Some of those guys in year 2, year 3, like Smith. And he ain't really, stepped up to the fucking plate yet. Like, I really don't know. Like, if the defense, even again with the moves that we made, it should be a lot better. But I don't know if I'm ready to blame all that shit on Evero yet, man. They just ain't. He ain't had nothing to fucking work with.
Man,
He had
it wasn't
tryouts
all
on
on
his
him.
defense, dog.
I
CLT, go
can't give
ahead.
all the.
Well, go ahead, Carl. Go ahead, Carl. You got it.
I was gonna say I can't really let Evero escape because he is bad at adjustment and 20 yards. Why is our corners playing 20 yards off?
Because they can't guard him 1-on-1.
33 for
They can't guard
33,
him, manning them up and jamming
They
them.
can't. Yeah, they can't.
but on
That's
You
third
got to
simple.
down and
understand. You
3,
can't when you don't have the personnel. Because again,
I don't give
he
a
doing them. He playing them 20 yards off because he don't want them to get beat deep. And
yeah, but
again,
on
when you ain't got
33,
no safety held in the court, the cover that you can a corner that you can leave out there on the island by itself, man. You got to play him off like that because
Our
I understand
safeties
that,
were
but on
terrible
third
last
down
season.
and 3,
say that
Well,
again.
he
I
said on
said, but
third down and 3. What player
yeah,
y'all talking about? Yo, I keep seeing everybody say that. What game was that?
all the games. Every time
Well, again, I would say we wasn't in the room. We
okay.
don't know, but I would say if they was off ball, I ain't gonna say 20 yards. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
20
20
yards.
yards. I
Yeah,
know they
it ain't
wasn't
no
off 20
20
yards.
yards.
Yeah,
They might have been
okay.
off
It might have probably been
7,
about
8.
7, like
Yeah,
7 or
that's
8
six. That's
yards.
more realistic.
That's still too far on
Um,
third and 3.
but
But bro,
again,
they can't
I
guard
think
him
that's
1-on-1.
because you got to understand if that was the case, even on 3rd and 3, because this is a passing league, right? This is a passing league. So meaning more teams pass on third and short distances now than we ever seen. They don't run the ball. So again, he was probably worried about our corners getting beat deep, giving up the big. But I forget what the number was, but you go look it up. The Panthers gave up the most big plays, meaning downfield plays, I think of 20 or 30 more yards than any team in the league, right? That's big plays. I'm talking about big chunk plays where is 20 plus or more yards. We gave up that because outside of JC, everybody was getting toasted, man. We seen it. So that's when you gotta adjust as a coordinator. You gotta back them up. I mean, that's
You
or you
got
going yeah, it's like you trying to give them some help. But that's what I'm saying. Yes, we're not saying that it's all that Evero what there wasn't some things that he didn't do well. Obviously, there was mistakes made, but man, the blame goes on both parts. Like I'm not ready to get rid of throw Evero in the dump after last season because we all know, the defense was a lot better the year before. You go look at the numbers. They wasn't this historically bad. We can't give that. And Evero was at the helm. Also, when he was in Denver that year that he was in Denver that we hired him, he had a good ass defense. So again, the guy's not. He's not a bad coach. He just again we got to keep giving them pieces. This year's gonna tell the tale because I feel like we have addressed the defensive side of the ball. I feel like that this year we've answered a lot there, barring injury, because we all know injury plays a part into it. When you lose your top guys, barring not losing no top guys, getting D Brown back healthy, the guys that we signed in free agent, what we doing in this draft, man. I mean, all that. If those guys are healthy coming back into this season, man, I feel like our defense is gonna be a lot better. Will we be a top 10 defense? I can't say that yet. I don't know. We got to put it on the field, but we should not be last like we were last year. And you know what I'm saying? We should at least be in the top, I'm gonna say top 20 at least in the league, with the pieces that we've added and those guys getting work together with Evero at the helm, man. That's my prediction, with the defensive side, man. Cause this year we got some pieces. We got some
I just
guys.
hope this fucking team wins, bro. I don't want to hear about one side of the ball. I just want this fucking team to win. I want to win now. Same shit with my Charlotte Hornets. I want to fucking
oh,
win
you might as well
now.
give that up,
We
baby.
are a goddamn shit show. I'm just telling you. With the
Yeah.
Panthers, it's time to win now, fellas. I don't
We
want
got
to hear this
CLT
shit.
in the building. Let me get CLT. CLT, go ahead and pop your shit.
What's up, fellas, man? I hope everybody doing all right, man. But
What up with it, bro?
just listening to what everybody's saying, bro, I feel like the real problem is that we in 3-4. We don't have nothing elite besides Derek Brown. He was hurt, and we went in a 3-4. We have a one problem, but we run in a 3-4. It makes no sense. Um, None of
It
these
not
players.
gonna change the scheme though,
They
CLT.
got to. They got to. You fire the fucking defensive coordinator. You got to. You give him another year. This is third year. It's gonna be the same shit, bro.
Unless the defense guys is historically
Bro,
bad
it's gonna
again
be
this year,
bad. It's gonna be bad. Listen,
he's not
how the
going
fuck
anywhere.
how the fuck do you expect these players that played in 4-3 with extra help to be elite? That wasn't even elite in 4-3 to be elite in 3-4 when they don't got no fucking help. Make sense. It's not gonna make sense. They're gonna get ran on again and again. All these people that we signed this year are fucking backups, bro. They're not no fucking stars. So it's not gonna make no difference. It's not gonna make no difference. It's gonna be the same shit. I'm gonna tell y'all this in advance, bro. We're gonna win 7 games. What it is, bro. We just fucking
Hey,
rookies are
hey, look, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Look, what we won. How many we won this year? What, 5?
5.
Yeah,
We're
We
not a
five.
won.
7
Yeah,
yet.
we won 5 this year. Hey, look, man.
We're not a 3-4
Seven,
team.
seven is an improvement. You know what I'm saying? So if you if you get to 7 games, shit, I'm not mad at 7 because again, guys, y'all hearing it now. I'm calling it now, so there's no miscommunication. I don't give a fuck what the Panthers are doing in the draft on Thursday. 7 to 8 games is where I can only put the Panthers at, man, going into this year 2 of the rebuild. So improvement. I do expect the team to be a lot better this year from an improvement standpoint because Bryce Young, I think that he's settled in now. He's confident in learning his role. I think he's starting to trust the pieces around him and he's trusting the offensive line. But that defense still needs a lot of work. You still need some more weapons on the offensive side of the ball. The offensive line will go through some changes. I think that it's time to start grooming another right tackle behind Taylor Moton because obviously I think this will be Moton's last season in Carolina, no matter what happens this year. this will be
This is
Taylor
where
Moton's last season in Carolina.
and this is why the Panthers re-signed Brady Christian. That's your future right there. Let's stop fucking handling him. Let's stop switching him to every fucking position and count and call him when we need him. Let that motherfucker start. He don't earn that bitch. He don't
Yeah,
earn it. Once Moten is gone, it's over and done with. Let Christian in there. But what I'm gonna say to this, and I'm done. We gotta fucking win at the end of the day. I know we say we're gonna win this. We going the NFC South is some shit. The
Yeah.
it
Tampa
really
Bay
is.
Buccaneers,
It
the
really
Tampa
is.
Bay Buccaneers been running shit for the past couple years. We can fucking do it. Motherfuckers just gotta sit here and draft correctly. But don't draft motherfuckers if they not willing to make an immediate impact. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's only one nation, and that's nigga nation. I'm out.
Hey, nigga nation. Hold on, nigga nation. Before you go, man, how many wins you got for Carolina this year?
Man, I'm going 7-9 at least. That's an improvement. At least
Yeah.
7 to 9 wins, and that can get you the NFC champions. You can win the South with that. You
Okay.
can win the
Okay.
South with that because it's so fucked up in the South. You know what I'm
it
talking about?
it
At the end of the
is.
day,
It is.
but you got to draft. This ain't the draft where what Texas did when they drafted their quarterback and their quarterback for the defense. This ain't that type of draft. Now, if you want to sit here and be bold, I'm only trading up if I'm going to go get Travis. If you ain't doing
Trade
that,
the number 2, goddammit. Fuck it. Go all
fuck it.
in.
There you
Fuck
go.
Trade the
it.
2.
There you
Fuck
go.
it.
Fuck it.
Fuck
Trade
it.
the
Why
number
not?
2, goddammit. Go get. If you
Listen,
want Travis, show the fucking Panthers that you want Travis. Go trade the number 2 with Cleveland.
fuck it.
Exactly.
I'm trading the 2 for Cleveland. I'm giving up this year's first, next year's first, and I'm trading to go get a generational fucking player, Travis Hunter. Fuck it, man.
And
Go all in.
I'm gonna let him do what the fuck he want. You want to be big Billy, big Billy badass? Fuck it. Your
Hell
ass gonna
yeah,
play
fuck it,
offense and
man. Go to
defense.
2 to go get him. If you really want him, Dan Morgan, and I know y'all be listening to these shits, if you really want Travis, pick up your fucking nuts and go to number 2. Fuck what everybody else think
Exactly.
about it. Go
Yeah,
get
On
your
the
that's
dead
true.
guy.
homie. On the
And
dead homie,
Cleveland
go
would
get him.
trade him. Cleveland would trade with us for that too.
Right. Because they know
These
they can
niggas
still
is
get a
smoking
pick.
dope.
Trade the hey, listen, trade the goddamn 2 CLT, big bro. I don't give a
Niggas
fuck.
smoking dope.
Show the motherfucking world that you goddamn really want to win right now. Go
Man,
get a
he's not gonna
generational
make you
talent.
fucking win right now. He's not gonna make you win right now. He's gonna push you back another 5 years. Talking about
He
giving
ain't gonna
two
push
first
you back
round
in
picks.
5 years.
Who,
No.
Travis?
Nah,
So you
because
saying Travis
he's
ain't
Two
your
winning?
first
number
rounds.
1
You're
wide
not gonna,
receiver. He
bro.
instantly becomes your number 1 wide receiver, and he also becomes depth
This
at
is
the
the
cornerback
league.
position on
This is
defense. So now
this
you
is the
got both.
league. This is the
Yeah.
league, bro.
Two.
He's a receiver for sure, but he's not worth those 2 first round picks, bro. Not for a team that's rebuilding. No, we don't have the capital and we don't have the team to do that, bro. We can't do
Yeah,
that.
I would have to agree with that. I mean, I like Travis, but we can't give up just to go get him, man. I mean, I
Man, it's a
think
lot of things that we can't do, but fuck it. At the end of the day, we gotta figure out how to fucking win. I ain't got time for this
Exactly.
shit. Fuck it. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta swing big in order to win. Fans like me getting tired of this shit. We tired. When the fuck
You
y'all gonna
damn.
wake up?
Nah,
We
he right
tired.
though. Listen,
Yeah,
I
he
think.
sure
Hey,
is.
listen, big bro, in CLT. Let me say this all jokes aside, man. All jokes aside, man. Listen, the fan base owes the Panthers. The Panthers owe the fan base, man, to swing big. They
Yeah.
owe it, man. They
Damn
owe
right.
this fan. They owe this fan base this shit, bro. Because this team and the decisions that they've made over the last 5 to 10 years has been the reason why you're in that you can't even afford to swing big right now, right? It's the decisions that you've made as an organization of why you can't even afford to swing big right now. So show the fucking fan base, bring some more fucking hope here, and say
Yeah.
that if that's your number 1 rated player on your board, that's your number 1 rated player between everybody, and you feel like that he can come in and be an immediate impact player, which
Mm-hmm.
I know he will be because Travis Hunter is a generational talent.
Yep.
If he can come in at minimum, it doesn't matter if he becomes a Hall of Fame wide receiver or a Hall of Fame corner. You at least have the option of one of them. He's going to be one of them. He's either going to be a Hall of Fame corner or he's going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver. So to me, you can't lose because you need both. You really need both. So at minimum, all you're saying to, at least you're saying to yourself is, I either got my wide receiver 1 of the future or I have my wide receiver 2 of the future, which really are probably number 1s with J.C. Horn and him out here. And now you locking down every fucking thing. Ain't
All right,
nothing
fuck it.
goddamn getting past these boys.
Fuck it.
2
D
birds
Ball,
with 1 stone.
Right. So
and Abdul Carter. Fuck it. Get him
So
at the
in my
same
in my mind, fuck. Listen, bro. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do not like the Panthers offseason to this point. I said it. I don't like it because again, you're lacking star power. You don't have no stars. You need listen. Every team that won a Super Bowl over the last fucking 15 years has had star players. 10 top 10 motherfuckers at their position. Hey, somebody mute their phone or turn me down in their background. Somebody loud right now. I don't know who it is. I'm hearing the echo. Somebody got to mute it. I don't know who that is. There's a lot, but guys, what I'm saying is you're lacking star players. Even though that you guys may like the moves that the Panthers made in free agency, let's still keep it 100, bro. These are players that we think these are solid rotational pieces that you brought in. You have not brought in anybody outside of the young safety, which we still got to see if he plays up to that contract, but you still didn't bring in anybody that is going to really change the fortune of that position that you brought him in at. You bought guys that can be great rotational pieces. These guys might end up being starters for us, and they could play to another contract. But overall, this team is still lacking star power. Every fucking team that's won a Super Bowl has a top 5 fucking player at their position somewhere on that team, either on the offense or the defense side of the ball. The Eagles, they got 2 top 15 wide receivers on their team. The number 1 running back, the number 1 offensive line. Every fucking offensive lineman that they have are top 5 at their positions, bro.
And this is why I said we can't keep counting on a fucking draft. You got to go get guys who already proven. You can't just keep going draft after draft.
And then you talk about the fucking Kansas City Chiefs, the number 1 quarterback in, the number 1 coach. You could argue that he's been the best coach in the NFL for the last fucking decade. Guys, you need stars to win. No team is winning without star player unless you luck up. Unless you fucking luck up and you hit on every fucking pick that you pick in that draft, right? And you hit on every fucking one of those picks you hit in that draft. You got to go get some fucking players. You got to be bold and do what the Bills did in Josh Allen's second year. You got to go trade for a Stephon Diggs. You got to go trade for a Tyreek Hill. Right now, Dan Morgan should be on the phone with I don't give a fuck about his contract. He should be on the phone with them motherfuckers down there in Miami and asking what they want for Tyreek Hill right now. He needs
or
a fresh start.
Or you got Jalen Ramsey out there.
Yeah, he needs a fresh start. That motherfucker need to get the fuck up out of Miami because he's ruining his life and NFL career in Miami. He should be on the phone right now with them to try to figure out what the fuck they want. You got to go get players. You got to. If these niggas ain't got no trade clause in their fucking contract, go and get them. I don't give a fuck about them not wanting to be in Carolina. Go and get them.
On the dead homies.
Like this is the problem. So no, I don't agree with Big Bruh in what everybody was saying. Oh man, I like the pieces. No, you brought in a bunch of tier 2 guys, tier 2 to tier 3 guys that you're hoping to get the same kind of production that they had with their team. But you got to remember, they were on better defenses. Trayshawn Wharton was on the Chiefs defense. They went to the Super Bowl. Bobby Brown was on the Rams defense. They were in the playoffs. He was beside arguably 2 of the best young defensive tackles in the league, Bobby Fisk and your boy that they drafted from Florida State. These guys played around good players.
Yeah,
now you're asking, Jared Verse. Now you're asking these guys to come to Carolina on a less talented team to try to give you the same production. If you're thinking that shit go happen like that, it's not going to happen like that. You needed game changers. Milton Williams is what we needed. We needed Milton Williams.
You
needed Milton Williams.
You just proved my point about the 3-4, bro. Milton with better talent on that line. It's not going to work.
So no, man. I'm not satisfied with what the Panthers have done. They need to hit big in this draft. So with that being said, man, because I'm about to get the fuck up off of here, I'm going to go around ask everybody what the Panthers should do at 8. What do you think, or what do you think is going to happen? Let's start with Big Bro.
Well, like I said this earlier when I started the pod, man. As far as what we should do, like I said, I got three options. If we move up to go get a Abdul Carter at 3, if he falls to 3, as long as we don't give up the farm, good package, what I'm saying, to go get it, because I do feel like he's the best defensive player in this draft coming out. That's the first option. Second option, stay at 8 man. Go ahead and go get Jalen Walker from Georgia. Outside linebacker, speed guy, can get to the edge. He fits our 3-4. I feel like he's a guy that can come in immediately and give you a positive, productive minutes, man. We need a speed guy off the edge, man. I'm telling you, I can't say this enough. We need speed off the edge that can come in and play. Um, or third, like I said, I wouldn't be happy. I mean, I would be happy also if they were to trade back, like we talked about earlier, and a few guys said it on the panel. Trade back, get some more picks, move back in the first round, because there's still some edge rushers, some pretty good edge rushers that's going to be available if we move back. If a team comes up and offers us, man, two, additional second round, this year and next, man, to get up to the 8 spot, and some later round picks, we got to take it, man, because like I said, we trying to build this team, and we need more picks to go get not only some more defensive guys and go, may spend another pick on wide receiver again. Like my man said earlier, we can't get enough linemen. We need to draft some more linemen. We need depth, guys. That's what this team needs. We need good, solid, productive depth in order for us to be consistently winning, man. And I think Dan Morgan and Dave Canales know that. I think that's how they're going to approach this draft. And yeah, man. So I got three options, man. That's what I think they should do. One of those three options I just mentioned is what they should do, man, to make this team legit going forward.
Nigga Nation, what do you think we should do at 8? Nigga Nation, you there?
Yeah, I think we should just fucking win. I mean, it ain't nothing else to talk about. I don't know why. I don't give a fuck who we pick. Let's fucking win. Let's win. Let's win. I don't give a fuck about no damn who we pick. Let's win. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Waze. What else you want me to say? What else do you want me to say, bro? I want to
Nothing,
fucking
bro.
win.
I
I
don't
don't
want
give
no
a fuck
problems.
about the eighth pick. Eighth pick ain't shit. We can pick the player and he may not be shit. So we just need to fucking win. That's all I'm gonna say. Again, it's only one nation, and that's nigga nation. I'm out.
Dude.
That nigga said it's only one nation, one nation. That's nigga nation. I'm out. Go ahead, Carl D. What you think we should do at 8?
Okay. My options are I'm going to first I'm going to agree with you. Think big or go home. If I mean, yeah, like you said, fuck it. Let's go up to either 2 or 3. Let's get Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. I mean, this defense, this team, we need an impact player that's gonna for day one. We need you're right. This fan base needs hope. And
They do.
what better way to show us hope is showing that you're willing to gamble.
I
And
agree.
but if you're scared, if you're scared, Dan Morgan, then try to trade back and get some pick. I mean, there's a defensive rusher that I love, that Boston College guy. I can't
Yeah, I've
think
been
his
hearing
name.
about him.
Score. I ain't gonna butcher his name. I like him. And if you trade back and get extra picks, there's 3 wide receivers names I could give you. One the 2 Iowa State wide receivers. I can't think
Ibuka.
of no the Iowa State. not Ohio
Oh,
State.
Iowa State. Oh, I thought you said Ohio State. My bad.
I think it was the big receiver name, but I know the smaller one is Joel. I mean something Jalen Noel and Jalen what's his name? Jalen Royals.
Okay.
Those three names are. I think those would be three impact receivers we can get if we trade back. But if we end up don't doing that, if we stay at 8, I mean, I don't. I'm not enamored with with Jalen Walker, but I guess if he's the best on the board, I guess go ahead. I guess go ahead and get him if you ain't trading back and you scared to move up. I guess I'll be happy with Walker, but I want him to be an impact from day one because I want somebody. The reason I want somebody to come in and that's going to make Clowney sick.
I agree.
That's
I
my thing.
agree. I agree. CLT, what you think, man? We should do at 8.
My dream scenario is to trade back. I think, like Dan Morgan said, and didn't mean to say, if we're at 8 and we got to stay there, we're stuck. I don't think nobody at 8 is going to be defined like somebody that's definite. I think I like Jalen Walker, but he's not defined. When it means he's a hybrid, so I wouldn't take him at 8 unless I had to. Nobody wanted to come up. We got too many holes, like you said, from 8 to 57. That's too far of a gap. So I would like to trade back, see if we can get another pick in that second round. See if we can get another fifth or a fourth. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of trade back option. But if we're stuck at 8, I guess you got to go Jalen Walker. But I wouldn't like it. I would like to get up out of that pick, to be honest.
Yeah. So here's what I think the Panthers should do. It's kind of two scenarios, or really the three scenarios, situation kind of like Big Bro was saying. Number one, I think that if there's one of the guys, man, that are on your board that are in the top 3, and there's a real opportunity for you to trade into the top 3 to get one of those guys, I think you pull the fucking trigger, man. Like I'm saying it, man. Like again, fuck Morgan in the future. You've already done that. You've already mortgaged the future. You've already done that, right? And it didn't pan out at least the way you thought it was going to pan out. I say go get one of the top 3 guys.
Mm.
Like, go and get it. If Travis Hunter is your number 1 overall rated player, call Cleveland. You know Cleveland would be glad to move out of that pick. And you go draft your Travis Hunter, give Bryce Young a starting wide receiver. And I seen somebody put in the chat say that Travis Hunter is not a top wide receiver. You smoking fucking dope.
Yeah, true.
Like you're smoking dope, bro. This man won the Biliknikov and the best defensive player of the year award that you can win. Travis Hunter's a dog at wide receiver, but his ball tracking skills, are the most fucking elite skills that I've seen in college football. He can locate the ball anywhere. He can high point the ball. He has athleticism where he can get to any place on the field. Let's not forget that he has hella fucking speed. He's fast as shit. And he has the good size that you need to be a number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. He checks all the boxes for a wide receiver at this level. And he has for certain hands. Go and give Bryce Young that option if there's a real chance. I'm not saying that you have to give up the farm. Listen, it's all about the deal that you get. If you can get a good deal, if you can get in which my second scenario, if you can get a good deal to move back, meaning a team is actually giving you something that you can work with this draft, not in the future, but if you're getting solid draft picks this draft, then trade back. If Pittsburgh wants to trade up from 22 to 8, well, you're going to give me something for that. Or wherever they're at, you're going to give me something for that. If the Saints want to move up 1 spot, I'm hitting them over the head. So whatever the fuck, what I'm saying is, if you're going to trade out of the spots, make sure that they're actually great deals. Like a lot of the times when the Panthers make trades, granted to be draft day trades or for players, they always get the shit in the stick of the deals. Get a good deal that can actually be something that you can get some impact players with. And then stand at number 8 if you're standing at number 8, you have no choice but to take Jalen Walker. He feels the need of what you need. You need pass rush. You need outside linebacking play. You need that. So that's who would I be taking at number 8. He's a hometown hero. He went to he's from Salisbury, North Carolina, played for Salisbury High School. It just makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. And I think that he can actually be a dog because he was a dog at Georgia. He was a dog in the playoffs. So we know that he's a good player. He can be a dog. Will that be obviously enough? No, it won't be enough, but at least you're saying that I'm getting a game-changing player at probably the most important position that you need to get a player at. So again, I'm not knocking that. I think if the Panthers stay at 8, you have no choice but to go Jalen Walker if he's still on the board. But you need to go with defensive player. So we're 3 days away from it, man. We're about to find out. Your boy Big Waves, guys, I will go live again after the draft this week or this weekend. I know the draft is on Thursday. Possibly could do one on Friday. We just got to see how everything looks like, man, for the rest of the week. But I will come out with another live here soon, man. Appreciate everybody pulling up to the channel as always. Nigga Nation, CLT, Big Bruh, Carl D. Everybody continue to support the channel, man. Thank y'all all so much. Again, man, part-time YouTuber, guys. But I appreciate everybody still rocking with me every time I do go live. Y'all don't understand how much that means to me, man. But, hey, we get into that point. So, till next time, guys, I will see you later.
Y'all be smooth.
Be easy.